Children will be groomed, and they will be, like you say, enticed to carry the drugs to and from various locations. It might be drugs, it might be cash. And vulnerable adults will also be groomed. They'll either be coerced or groomed to basically give up their homes. It's known as cuckooing. So the groups or the gangs will take over the vulnerable adult's location, and they'll use it as a base to deal their drugs from. They're groomed to think that they are part of a family, and then eventually that nicety wears off, and they may be coerced, intimidated, threatened, etc. And they become trapped in that gang, so they can't therefore get out of it, and they're involved in the drug dealing. Section 45 of the Modern Slavery Act actually provides a defence for people that are involved in criminal exploitation when they genuinely are involved in it. And again, vulnerable adults, they may be intimidated or threatened, or they may be promised drugs. These adults, they may be drug users themselves, and the gangs might promise them drugs if they're allowed to use their property as a base. Again, that they can genuinely be victims of criminal exploitation. But if they don't want to come directly to us, then I would say to go to any other partner agency, social services, the council, housing, any of those agencies. Lots of charities that can help, and also Crime Stoppers. If somebody wants to report some instances of drug dealing, they can report it anonymously via Crime Stoppers. We'll get that information and we'll act on it as well. If there is a sudden change in their behaviour, if all of a sudden they become more secretive, more furtive, especially around their mobile phone, if all of a sudden they start, if they've got 2 mobile phones instead of 1, if they suddenly have new trainers and the parents don't know where they've come from, if they go missing, and that might be out of character, any of those signs would start ringing alarm bells, and I would suggest that they pick up the phone and either call the police for advice, speak to us, or any of the partner agencies as well, which I mentioned earlier.